Thank y'all.
Good afternoon. We're grateful that you're here today. I heard some really good things about the choral performance earlier. Chorale. Yes. It's pretty special, the long-running tradition that we've had for residents to be engaged in the chorale. So I'm sure that's why we got a few extra faces here today. So thank you for sticking around. David is not in the office today, but Judy is going to start us off with prayer today, and then we will jump into the meeting. Thank you.
I'm not David, if you can tell, okay? Let's bow our heads in prayer. Our Father, we give you thanks for the many blessings that you provide us daily. We're thankful for this season of spring when Rolling Green Village comes alive with all your colors that shows us new life. But God, some hearts are very heavy today with the unexpected loss of our dear friend Jim McQuaid. Some of our hearts are feeling such a loss and sadness with his leaving. We ask that you give us peace and love as we travel through this journey of grief and loss. But provide us with the happy memories of the times that we had with Jim. Now, as we enter Holy Week and Passover this weekend, let us be mindful of your presence with us daily. Give us love and understanding as we approach Easter Sunday in another week. Let us rejoice in all you do and have done for us. Now we ask for your wisdom as we begin this meeting. We acknowledge that we need your help with insights, and we welcome your presence among us. Guide us in the presentations and questions that will arise today. Help us to seek what is best for all the residents of Rolling Green Village. We trust in your perfect wisdom and ask that you direct our meeting according to your will. We humbly ask this in your Son's name. Amen.
Good afternoon. First, I would like to remind everybody of our dog show tomorrow. If you have a dog and you haven't signed up, you're more than welcome to still sign up. It's going to be at the dog park. You might go through just a little obstacle course, or if your dog doesn't like obstacle courses, they can just walk around. That's fine. It's just for fun. We do want some people to come out and cheer the dogs on. So, like I said, 2 o'clock at the dog park. If it's raining, we'll have it in here, okay? But I'll do a one call to let you know. And we have refreshments and cupcakes. Sophia went this morning and got cupcakes. So, and then I think we may have a few little treats for the dogs. So everybody's welcome for that. Bill Vickery will teach a class on scams and how to prevent them on Tuesday, April 15th in here. I know I've mentioned it before. It's been in your highlights, but it'll be at 10:30 in here on Tuesday, April the 15th. So I think that everybody's invited. You don't have to sign up for it. Just show up. I think it's going to last about an hour and 15 minutes. So it should be a good program. Lance Flower will be here giving an Easter piano concert on Tuesday, April 15th at 3 o'clock in the Piano Lounge. I think some of you have heard Lance before. He's a really great pianist. He taught at Bob Jones for years. And he's also friends of the Gustafsons, which is how we got him here. He used to come and perform for Gwen a lot of times. So that's on Tuesday, April 15th at 3 o'clock. All right, this one's a fun one. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt on April 17th. Now, if you came to the Easter egg hunt last year, this one's going to be a little bit harder, okay? The eggs will contain candy, cash, and the grand prize of a trip for two with transportation to Augusta Grill, okay? So like I said, it's going to be harder, and you're going to have to look for eggs up in the commons, probably down here in the village center. We haven't really decided where all to hide the eggs, but it's not going to be so hard that you're not going to be able to find them. So it should be fun. We'll start in the commons, and then we'll have a guide of where you should go to find the eggs. Marie, who is our part-time wellness coordinator, she's new. She started a couple weeks ago, but she's going to start teaching Zumba live. So she's going to be teaching it. We have been having a video because our Zumba instructor left. So she will start to teach it live on Monday. And that's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock. So we'd like for people to come. If it gets to be too big, we may have to move it up here, but it's in the group fitness room. We will be taking a bus to Eastside Presbyterian Church. They've invited us to come out to their Easter morning service. So anybody who needs a ride, you can ride the bus or you're welcome to drive. But they have invited us. It's just right down the street. I think it's right there on Snipes. Right next to the school, First Presbyterian School. But they have invited us to come to their Sunday morning Easter service. So we will take a bus over there. If you want to ride the bus, just sign up on the portal. But if you don't need a ride and you want to drive, you don't have to sign up. And then, so this one, I really need people to help with this, okay? Because I've signed up for it and I told them we would have people come. So this is May the 3rd, Hands on Greenville. And that's at Floor Field, and it's sponsored by United Way. And they do it every year. From 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we will be filling bags for the homeless or something similar to that. But something easy that you can sit down to do. So that'll be from 8 to 11. That's on May the 3rd. And then from 11 to 2, they have free food and they have live music. And so it sounds like a lot of fun. After you do the work, it sounds like a big party. Everything's free, and you also get a free t-shirt, okay? So, free t-shirt. But sign up on the portal if you're interested, okay? And I am going to be reaching out to some of the Rolling Green staff to see if they'd like to go as well. And then just remember, this is a reminder, AARP Safe Driving Course will be here May the 6th at 9:15 in here. So if you're still interested, I think we have about 28 people that have signed up. But if you're still interested in that, you can sign up on the portal. There's still time. If you're an AARP member, it's $20. If you're not, it's $25. And you'll just bring that money with you that day and pay it at the day of. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about those or anything else? Okay, well, thank you.
Good afternoon. Shannon's not here today, so the only thing that she really wanted me to cover for her is the presentations that she did last month with Jim, our Director of Therapy. I'm not sure if any of you were able to attend that. They did have a great turnout. There will be another one in the upcoming month, so look forward to that communication, but she will speak next month. I'm going to give an update on the licensed areas. I want to start out with census. This morning, we're actually at 100% occupied in rehab, so 22 out of 22 beds are fulfilled. So that's always great to hear. In the health center, we're 94% occupied within healthcare, and then 100% occupied in Cedars with a long wait list that we're working through. And then in Evergreen Place, we're actually at 82% occupied. So I know over the past couple of months and months before that, we've focused on the occupancy of Evergreen Place. So one of those strides has been, we did bring in Trina Harris, which was a new residency counselor within that area and has gotten us above budget within the area. Another huge thing that we've been working towards is Evergreen Place refresh. So as you all have probably walked through Evergreen Place, if you haven't had the opportunity to, I would suggest doing that. Feel free to reach out to our team and we can coordinate that visit. But within Evergreen Place, we will be doing a renovation, which will probably start mid-May. We've been working on that for about the past year and a half, just getting design work, getting contractors together. So we hope for that to start mid-May. Myself and Ryan and Dwayne met this morning with Maven which helped us with the past expansion. They will be helping to lead that renovation, and we hope that it'll take between, hopefully no more than 4 months. So we're working through that process. So we look forward to that starting soon. And then I wanted to give another health center update. So as you've heard me mention in the past, CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, gives us a star rating. And that is public knowledge. It's published on Care Compare's website through CMS. And with that, it gives us a 5-star rating. It's broken down into 3 components. So it goes through our quality measures that we send in information through. When residents are in rehab, we send them information of how they're doing, if they've gotten worse or if they've gotten better. And then it also does our staffing ratio that we send in quarterly to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. And then the last would be the overall rating. So our staffing currently is a 5 out of 5 star, which is great to see. And then our quality measures are also a 5 out of 5 star. A portion of that overall 5 star is also our survey results. So as you remember, probably over the past 2 years, our survey results were lower due to a accident that occurred within the health center, and that lowered our survey results. Well, with that, we have actually improved those survey results to it was a 1 star and now it's a 2 star. So to make it a little less complicated, they take all 3 of those things and give us our overall. So over the past couple of quarters, we've been a 2 star out of 5, and on April 1, we actually updated to a 4 star out of 5. So that's great to see. We're still a 5 star in our quality measures and our staffing, but hopefully with our next survey result, which is at any moment, we're prepared for this date to come in. We're in our survey window. Hopefully that will be a good survey, and then we will increase to a 5 star. So we're proud of the team that we do have and the work that we've done to get to that 4 out of 5 star. Any questions in regards to those items? Okay. Well, our next 2 things, I want to recognize a team member within the health center or assisted living. I'm not sure if everybody's had the privilege to meet Trina that I just spoke of. Trina Harris has been with us about a year, I think a year next month, and she oversees all of the admissions in assisted living and memory care, so Cedars and Evergreen Place. And I wanted to share a Google review that was written about Trina over the past week. So this comes from Mark Bridgman. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Bridgman that live in Cedars. Mr. and Mrs. Bridgman were patio home residents for a long time at Rolling Green, and then about 2 years ago they decided to move in with their daughter. And then once they needed a little bit more support, they decided that there's no other place that they wanted to be besides Rolling Green for that next chapter of their life. So this is from their son. My parents have lived in assisted living at Rolling Green since last October. They were previously in independent living for 8 years. They loved living in Rolling Green. Then they moved in with my sister for 2 years in Greenville. When they needed to move into assisted living, there was only one choice, Rolling Green. Trina, who's the assisted living residency counselor, was instrumental in making that happen as seamlessly as possible. Recently, their apartment unfortunately flooded. She had a toilet issue. They had to move to memory care while an assessment and repairs were being made. Trina again stepped in and made sure they were as comfortable as possible and pushed hard to get them back home as soon as possible. Trina always shows how much she cares for the residents first, but the family as well. Rolling Green has always been a special place for our family, and Trina only strengthens that feeling. Thank you, Trina. You're the best. I just wanted to share that with you. If you haven't had the opportunity to meet Trina, you definitely should. She's been an amazing part of our team and the growth that we've had over the past year. And then one last thing, I wanted to introduce someone that's here today. So Hannah Jones comes from Penn State. She's currently a senior at Penn State, and she'll be graduating in May. So through Life Care Services, they have a program called the Professional Development Program. And through that program, They go through 150 or so applicants every year in the fall, and they scan through those and go through a rigorous interview process to pick usually 4 to 5 professional development enrollees, administrator in training. So those students come through once they finish usually their bachelor's, and they spend a year in a community to train to become an administrator, which is what I do on a daily basis. So Hannah is actually here today, just happened to fall on during the executive director meeting. She flew in from Pennsylvania this morning and is here just visiting Rolling Green Village. So Hannah's over here in the corner. This is Hannah Jones. So she will be back with us in June. June 16th will be her first day, and she'll be spending about a year with us. So if you see her, feel free to introduce yourself and make her feel welcome at Rolling Green. So, any questions for me? That's all I have. Well, thank you.
All right, pretty good stuff from Anna Grace. Thank you all again for the time today. Wanted to make sure I recognize Mr. Fant. I don't know if Mr. Fant is here, but he created a lectern, a little booster right here, which is pretty nice. So it's sitting up. It's pretty. So if you get a chance to see it, handmade, custom made, and it fits perfectly on the podium. So David gave me a heads up that it was going to be here today, so it's pretty nice. Wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on lately. Wanted to recognize the folks that put on the veterans event. I know Amy and her team did an amazing job with decorations and pulling everything together. I heard really good feedback, and it was great to see us exceed that goal of $26,000. I think it was maybe $27,000 total to benefit veterans in the upstate. So that's one of the biggest fundraisers of the year outside of what Judy does, but it's really resident-driven, resident-generated to maintain funds and to make a difference here in the upstate. So that was pretty neat. I also wanted to recognize Amy and the work that her team did to help pull that off. So pretty awesome to see that number. Also wanted to make sure folks knew yesterday we had an employee staff appreciation employee cookout. We planned that after the fall 2024 staff satisfaction survey, where we actually scored the highest amongst any of the LCS communities that did a survey in 24. So we stood back and said, hey, how can we recognize and appreciate the staff? So we planned a cookout outside, and I want to give a shout out to Anna Grace. Her dad actually drove in from Sandersville, Georgia with his barbecue in tow and was a part of it. So it was a pretty neat opportunity to say thank you to folks. Thank you for letting us invade your space for a little bit. The weather worked out. We always worry if it's going to rain on those days, but everybody really appreciated it. And the department head team was the sweat labor, the sweat equity. So the department head set it all up. They did most of the cooking. I tried to let Bruce help me a little bit. If I left the grill too long, Bruce would take over for me. So I took a couple steps and then came back to it. So he's pretty territorial, but it was fun. We had a really good time. The other thing that was neat that we shared with them, we said, what can we do to say thank you to the staff? So we thought about it and also got some feedback from the staff. And what we announced that we had a special announcement yesterday, and we gave them all one PTO day on Rolling Green. So they all got an extra day of paid time off to enjoy with their families. They appreciate that. All right, who had Florida in their bracket? Anybody? Anybody have Florida in their bracket? No one?
Go Duke.
Go Duke, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. So my 11-year-old daughter had Florida in her bracket. She's watched 0 basketball ever in her life. And she won the bracket challenge in my family. It's the first time we've done it. So the winner gets to pick where we go out to dinner. So we're going to go to McDonald's. She wants to go to McDonald's. The other funny thing, I looked at her bracket and I'm like, oh my goodness. She spelled She spelled Florida wrong too the whole way. Flodria. Flodira? I think that's what it was. Flodira. I was like, this isn't even spelled right. I don't know if we should let her in this, but it was really kind of funny to see. She literally watches no basketball, and she did better than me. I think I finished 4th out of 5 in my household. So that was kind of neat. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. The Wellness Center pool, we do have a few punch list items to complete. We have installed a camera there. We have also secured the pool railing. The baseboards, I think there's been a couple questions around that. Those will be done on Monday. So Dwayne was helping us to get all that secured. There still are a few other items for us to address. The doors that are rusting from the inside, we do also want to put a door opener on it. And then we are looking at swapping out some of the furniture, working with the Extraordinary Impressions Committee, staff committee to do that. So those are some things that are still outstanding, but I wanted you to know that it does continue to move forward. So it's exciting to see. We actually showed it off to Hannah earlier. It's a really nice space. And I think I've heard some good feedback since we changed the temperature. Heard good feedback. So also wanted to put in a plug for the pickleball tournament coming up at the end of April. I'm going to get out there, which will be fun. I've never played pickleball, more than just hitting the ball around, but I have played tennis and I have played ping pong, so we'll see how well I do. My knee's recovered, so I think I should be okay. So we are encouraging residents, if you would like to be a part of it, that'd be great. If you want to just pay $25, you can get a t-shirt. We're open to that as well. All the proceeds are going to benefit the Greenville Area Parkinson's Society. So GAPS is a nickname for it, but the Greenville Area Parkinson's Society. So we were able to secure a couple corporate sponsors. Judy said I can be her assistant fundraiser, but it was kind of easy. Once we paid all these people to help us build it, all I had to do was send an email, and they were open to giving us a little bit of that money back. That will help us go to the Greenville Area Parkinson's Society. So that'll be neat. And again, we just wanted to make sure folks knew about that if you want to be a part of it. There will be an expert and a novice division. So we're hoping, I think my hope was maybe 20, 25 people. That would be ideal. We weren't expecting 100 people, but it's just a start. It's a neat space. Let's try to raise funds for a local charity and have a little bit of fun. Also incorporate some staff into it as well. I'm going to keep with my theme as far as updates on some different projects that we're working on. The Lakeside Shoreline Project. I've got in bold here. The Lakeside Board did share with us that they're okay with us moving forward with our project plans. We do have to iron out a couple things. There are a few easements that we have to secure first, but we hope to start this project this summer while it's dry. And this will be creating a retaining wall at the corner there where the lake and kind of the dam is that back up against the lakeside homes. We are not going to be we're not going to be putting back in the sidewalk, but we are going to be putting a different type of a amenity on the water, still to be determined. But that space will kind of grow natural. We will not put that sidewalk back in because of some of the ongoing undermining there. So I just want you to be aware that that is going to continue to move forward. We've collaborated with the Lakeside Board to talk through what some of those options were. We appreciated their feedback and wanted to make sure they knew that we were not going to make a decision without sharing information with them and getting some of their feedback. The Clemson Landscape Architecture Partnership, I think it's been a really great opportunity to help local students, young people, to learn more about senior living, but then also to get some hands-on experience. So there was two components to the partnership. One was having a class of folks come out and do a courtyard concept for us, which we've taken and we've shared with Holly Owings with Earth Design that will kind of inform phase 2 courtyard between G and F, the space that we were just in yesterday. Some of that space with by the fire pit, the open green space, there'll be a courtyard there. So they gave us some concepts which will inform Holly and her ultimate decision on what to do there. But then also a gentleman by the name of Jordan Livingston, who is a master's level student is doing his master's project centered around the lakes. So we've had a couple different resident engagements with a small number of residents, but it's been a great opportunity again for him to get out here and to walk the site. He's also interviewed a handful of residents just to kind of help his project move forward. By the end of this month, he's going to be presenting again his final presentation with some of the concepts, which are really pretty amazing. We love to do, we do want to do this, but it's going to take us a little bit of time to incorporate it, so I want you to know. We'll definitely share some of the information that we get from him. It'll be work product that's given to us. You know, he's not a professional landscape architect, but he is a student, and he's going to have some really great ideas for us, and we would like to incorporate them over a period of time. So, but his last presentation is coming up here at the end of the month. So we're looking forward to having him back out, and also looking forward to keeping that partnership going. We probably won't have another master student, but we would like to have the students come out for that classroom setting, and I shared with them some other opportunities for some outdoor spaces that they could take a look at and give us some feedback on to potentially create some new outdoor spaces. So the Village Green apartment lobby furniture, I want to make sure folks know that's going to come at the end of April. So I think that's the third floor. The third floor that we're going to be redoing as far as that furniture. It's taken a little while, but we do have confirmation that that's going to be here at the end, by the end of the month. So look forward to that. We also have a Village Green Courtyard Committee that met this morning, and we're continuing to move forward. We were looking at just some other small details around drainage, around the structure that we're looking to put in the Village Green, and also around some of the plantings that we would be incorporating. So that project continues to move forward. I know it can't happen soon enough, but it is continue to be a priority for us in 2025. The Hoke Smith Drive and sidewalk upgrades as well is going to be a priority later this summer. We'll likely see us do the lakeside shoreline first, and then while that equipment is here, they would then complete the Hoke Smith upgrade as well. And that would be cutting out the section of where the tree roots are uprooting, but then also creating a contiguous sidewalk from almost the front entrance all the way along Hoke Smith that allow people to walk a little bit safer up to the village center, to the commons. The curb and guttering will also help with some of our drainage issues as well. So that will be probably after the lakeside sidewalk, but we have engaged Strange Brothers to help us with that. We also met a couple weeks ago with Earth Design as well, Holly Owings. She's the principal with Earth Design Landscape Architects, about some other middle pond plantings. So the middle pond is the pond where we've put a lot of the stabilization, the larger rocks and boulders. We'd like to put some other plantings around that to distract from the rock, but also to stabilize, to encourage habitat for animals and for turtles, and not as many snakes maybe. So we're looking at that. We did meet with Holly, and there's a handful of residents who were provided some feedback on it. We don't have a plan yet. We're definitely keeping Holly busy between the chapel, the chapel prayer garden, between the Village Green Courtyard, and now with this, in addition to some of the phase 2 stuff that she's doing. So she committed to a couple weeks out. She could get us some preliminary plans. We'll get some more resident feedback, and then we'll come up with a plan to do some plantings in that kind of green space. That's also going to kind of coordinate with what Jordan has planned for his project. So looking forward to that. Providing some new plants and making sure residents know what we're doing down there. We'll definitely get you more information once we've got a finalized plan. Phase 2, we're still holding steady at 69, but I will tell you that David has secured 2 more sales, but we don't count them until the check is in the bank. So there's one that's coming our way that'll get us up to 70, and then one that's going to deposit hopefully soon that'll get us up to 71. So continuing to inch further. We target for around 2 or 3 sales each month. And we'd love to have a little bit more than that to get us to the end of the year. But with 2 checks within the first week of April, it's really great to see, and David's doing a great job. in Lexi's absence. And Barbara's doing a great job too, of keeping our progress going forward. The CLA audit, so every year we have an outside third-party independent auditor come in and look at our financial books and complete an audit. We know the audit process has evolved and changed quite a bit over the last few years. This is something that started in February. I think it was February, I put down here March, but it takes a little bit of while. There's a lot of back and forth of information that's sent and shared, and largely that's Sean really diving in and getting them all the information. So I've not heard of any major concerns from reviewing the financial statements that allow us and them to go from unaudited to audited and complete that process. We will definitely share the results of that final audit presentation. They're going to present that to the Finance Committee of the Board first, coming up on April 22nd, and then we will also present it in front of the Board on April 22nd. And like I said, once we get the results, probably next month, I can share that with you all at this meeting to let you know how it went. And typically we've done a good job. Clifton, Larson, Allen, like I said, they do a lot of things remotely, and they come on site, and they continue to collaborate over a number of weeks to get questions answered and make sure that we're doing everything that we should be doing when it comes to our financial statements. So that's a big deal, something that's being concluded here in the next couple weeks. On the financial side, these are tentative. They look pretty good though, as far as our March results. So we're going to close out the quarter exceeding our net operating income, kind of our operating statement goals. So on the operating revenue side, we exceeded the goal that we had by around $50,000. So we saw a little bit of an uptick from the Cedars Assisted Living, which is full, and also from the Health Center, which continues to get great results. And on the expense side, we kept our expenses down. I think the light bill was a little bit less also last month. It wasn't as warm, as cold in March as it was in February. So that was good as well. So our expenses were down, our revenues were up to give us an additional amount that will help us as we move forward. So great to see us off to a really good start for the first 3 quarters, exceeding expectations. The staff success I wanted to share. I promise I could not share a picture. It's not my baby, so I didn't want to take her thunder. But Dorothy said she saw Lexi at the hairdresser this week and said Lexi looks really good. She was very grateful for all of the, I think she got a lot of emails, got a lot of cards from residents just to wish her well. So baby Jax was born. I think his name is Jackson. He's going to go by Jax on March 18th. So everybody's doing really well. We've seen a few emails from her here and there, and I've asked David and Dorothy, I said, is she really taking time off? And it seems that she is. She said she's getting a lot more rest than she thought she would. So she's grateful for that, and she says she's enjoying every moment. So we're grateful for her. It's been a heck of a journey for her to have a baby, and we're really excited for her. So she'll likely be working remotely a little bit and then slowly easing back into it. But we probably won't see her for a little while, and that's why we've brought Barbara Richter, to help to make sure that Lexi could take the time off that she needed with her first baby. So we're excited to share that with you, and I'm sure I've got a really cool picture. This baby has so much hair, it's crazy, and she like styles it almost. And it's like he came out with a full head of black hair. It's really kind of neat, but I'm sure she'll look forward to sharing those with you. I've had 3 kids, and I know that's always a proud thing to share those baby pictures. So, but they're doing really well. So I just wanted to share that with you, and we'll look forward to having her back when the timing is right. That was all that I had. What questions y'all have for me? You don't want me to have any Bob jokes, do you? I did talk to him last week. I check in with him a couple times a year, and he's doing well, enjoying time with his grandkids. He went back to Cincinnati to be close to his grandkids. He has 2 sons in the Cincinnati area, and they have grandbabies. So he said he really wanted to get back to be able to be there for birthday parties, for sleepovers, for picking kids up from school. So it was great to hear from him. So he's always curious in how things are going. So, what questions y'all have? Did you all see I forgot to mention the wellness gym. Do you like the new color?
Yes.
Now once you do the paint, then we got to look at the floor, like everything. But it's a great start. We will eventually look at the floor. That's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do than the paint. But I think it's a great refresh, and it kind of coincides with the new paint in the pool. So thank you all for your inconvenience when we did shut it down for a little bit. But the paint work was done by our team, John, and by Logan. I want to say Landon, but Logan. So Logan, they did a great job.
This is a small thing, but is there any way we could remove the mutilated plastic statue of a heron from the side of the lake?
Oh. Yeah, that's a skip question.
Okay.
Sure.
You don't like Ralph? Yeah, we take care of that. The geese, tend to ignore it. We hadn't had real success with our geese deterrence, but yes.
I wanted to mention we're excited to have Hannah. This will be the 5th administrator in training that I've had a chance to work with, which is really pretty neat in the time I've been doing this. And we did have another PDP, and that's actually what Anna Grace did when she was in Nashville. Juan Rosales, I don't know if folks remember Juan, who was here in 2019, right before COVID hit. So anytime that we have an opportunity to bring somebody in to learn, I think this is an amazing place with a lot of things that keep you busy and keep you on your toes, that it's only going to prepare Hannah as she continues to move forward professionally. So we're excited to have her and look forward to it. And I want you all to know that Life Care Services is paying 100% of her salary. So it's not an RGB expense. So we're looking forward to helping her grow, and we always learn a lot from working with young people, and they teach us a lot, and we're definitely going to help her get off onto the right start. So we're excited to have her here. Other questions?
So it's not a question, it's just a thank you for repairing the speed bump at the back entrance.
I do anticipate when we do the Hoke Smith gutters, the curb and guttering, that we'll be replacing those big speed bumps that have deteriorated. That's the time for us to do it while that equipment is here. So in the front and in the back, we will be redoing those concrete speed bumps while that equipment is here. We're going to kind of tie that into that project. So, but they're all kind of about the same age, we believe. I haven't been here that long. They've been here quite a while, and probably about time for them to be redone. So, but definitely in the back. And yes, I heard the feedback. It's not pretty, but it's definitely smoother. You're not going to have an issue with your tire. The chapel, I don't know if folks are aware, we're starting to have OAC meetings, which is owner, architect, contractor meetings about the chapel. So I would anticipate we're going to get started here before long. There is also this whole permitting thing through Greenville County, working on the final details, but we will see a perimeter fence up. So we will see the golf cart parking go away during the time that it's going to be constructed. We are going to make sure that the plum tree stays, just so folks are aware. That's not going to be disturbed, but there will be some fencing. We'll be working with Clancy and Faze as they start that project. We've got the new sign out there, but we'll see fencing and electrical and those contractors here before too long. We're really excited about the opportunity to bring a chapel here that's long overdue. So just want you to be aware that it's going to be happening pretty soon. Everybody's going to ask a date, and it just keeps changing. We're hopeful. May-ish, June-ish, is that, I say things like that because it's hard. But every week we're visiting about it, talking about it, preparing for it, talking about what we need to do to make sure that it moves forward. And we've asked them to make sure they have the materials and everything squared away. So we're not going to start something and then wait 2 weeks because material needs to arrive and then restart. So we want to make sure it's continuous. Who has another question?
I don't want to ask anybody, we like to recycle and stuff here, so if anybody would like Ralph in their yard, let me know. So when I take him down, I'll bring him over to you.
There was a resident that brought up to me about recycling, speaking of that, Skip. So If you live in an apartment, we do still have recycling, so you just need to put a, if you have a container, just let your housekeeper know when they come through. They will take the recycling out for you. So I just want to put a plug in. Ms. Drummond reminded me of that and put together a pretty good letter to me, which I said I agree with, and we do still offer. We do make sure that the housekeepers will take out your recycling for you if you live in the apartments. So.
Well, on that deal, I'd like to make a suggestion. They need to have a bigger trash can to put the aluminum in.
A bigger trash can for the aluminum?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they just have a small trash can that you put the aluminum in, and it fills up very fast.
Okay.
And so,
Something
I don't know
answer.
what they do, but they need a much bigger trash can for that. For recycling.
I think Mata handles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a housekeeper, Mata, who I think she helps to collect the aluminum cans and takes them on her own. So
Oh,
I can
okay,
mention
well-
that to her. It's kind of a little side project of hers.
Oh, okay, well, she needs one of those real big trash
Yeah.
cans.
Or we can look at that. We're trying to make it manageable for her. She's been in that routine for a number of
Oh,
years.
I didn't know she was doing that.
Yeah. Another good thing to share, Skip reminded me of that. Hopefully we're gonna be getting maintenance a new truck, a new white truck. And I asked him, we gotta get rid of the old blue truck and the old maroon truck. So that'll be nice to see. We've had a good run with those two trucks. I'm kind of doing this to make sure we get rid of them. When he got the quote from the dealership, it said at the bottom, it had this little asterisk, and it said, if you trade in a non-GM vehicle, we'll give you $2,500 off. So I'm like, we got two of them, these two Ford F-150s. And he went back to the dealership and they said, well, it has to be 2009 or newer. So that will tell you how old those trucks are. Now, they run, they're Ford F-150s, they run, the most popular truck, but I told Skip, I'm like, it's time. We just got to let go of those two trucks, and we can donate them. But we will get a new white truck, hopefully before too long. He was at the dealership yesterday, so he missed part of the cookout because he was stuck there. So.
Anybody need a truck? Give you
They
choice
do
of blue or
run.
red.
They do run. I don't know how old are they. Do you know what years?
98, 99.
Do you want to know where I was in 98, 99?
No.
No, I was alive. I'll tell you that. And I don't know if Anna Grace was. Were you? She was born in 98, so there you go.
Rub it in, guys. Rub it
There you
in.
go. So it's time. These trucks gotta go. And they just, So they're gonna be going. And this is another way for me to make sure that they go. Otherwise, we have all these witnesses here, Skip. What's that thing doing out there? Yep. Then they'll come down. Maybe you guys don't want to have any questions because you're already here for a little while and you're ready to go home. That's perfectly okay. Go ahead, Mr. Rentz.
You were talking about recycling. Have you ever considered bringing in one of those recycling trucks that could take a whole bin of papers and shred it in a matter of just a few minutes? That might help, because I think what I've heard is that you have a small shredder that you have to hand feed things through.
Yeah.
I don't know how much those cost, but it would be something that
Yeah.
a lot of people could use when they clear out their papers once a year or so.
Yeah, you're right. We've done that from time to time. So I know we've got the cardboard container in the back, and then the little small aluminum thing. That's what Mata does with the red bin. I've been out there before. And I know that we also have the small shredding machine that we'll do sometimes with Stan. But we have we have a shredding company. And at times, I don't know if it was marketing related, Amy, do you remember? Sometimes we had events where we would have the same company, I think it's Shred With Us. They would come out and we offered it as an event for priority folks maybe here that did it with us, where the truck comes out and they have the tipper and it just grinds it all up, yeah. So we have done that before. I'm not sure exactly how much it costs per visit, or if we did offer that once while our people were already here, the Shred With Us folks. That is something that we can consider. I don't know how expensive that is, but that's a good point. Particularly right after tax day, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I have a box at my house. There's the Greenville free one that I do. It's usually in late April, early May. Anybody else? I don't want to hold anyone. Yep.
Our neighbor is extremely allergic to fire ants, and those seem to be popping up all along the sidewalks. Is there any plan to poison that?
That's something, I don't know if Brightview helps us with that, or if that's something that our facilities team, Skip, what do you know?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a contract for around the buildings, but when you get out in the perimeter, because they just pop up after you get a heavy rain, pop up here, do that. So that's sort of an ongoing thing. We see them, we sort of sprinkled, but it's not like we're out every day kind of thing. So let us know where, so we can go and try to find them,
Yeah, I'm itching as you're doing that. Yeah, just grab it. Is there anybody else? All right, well, thank you all. If you have any other one-on-one, I'm happy to answer. And we're grateful that you're here. Thank you.
Thanks again for all the hardest work here. Are you bleeding to death? You want to call a doctor?
I know it.
I gotta get home and get a pressure on. It's one of these things that just pour a little piece of skin on. Anyway, then I started, I thought it was done, and I started playing it up.
You need a what? A toilet paper?
I got to put it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bring that up.
You want to call a doctor?
Thank you.
Hey, Bob.